yard, out behind the cars. Tonight we're gonna do something different. I will make the things that I know how to make. You will make something more delicious. A sweet potato pie on a flimsy paper plate. Baby, I don't think it gets much better. There isn't much to keep. We lay down and fall asleep till the morning comes around to find love. I still keep with me these little memories. The ones that stick around are the most bittersweet. I know it's getting late. The night is full of such mistakes. I was hoping that you might.
All right, we are here on project number 13 of 2023. We are showing you that water features are fun everywhere. That's the theme of our channel. I am Nick the Pond King. I'm glad you're here. This is our team, and we're trying to just show off what our team can do to really transform your yard and taking it where it's a beautiful, tranquil space already. They can't see any neighbors behind them. They have a nice wetland area, but there's just that sound of running water that's not quite there. And that's what's so cool about what we do. We are in the land of 10,000 lakes here in Minnesota, but on those lakes, the only time you hear water movement is if you have a really strong wind or there's a lot of boating going on. Otherwise, those lakes like to stay pretty still for the most part. So what we get to do is we get to bring in that mountainous stream feel. So when you're sitting by one of our waterfalls, you're gonna feel like you're drifting away into a mountainous stream. That's what's so cool about it. We're gonna mix up the tones. We're gonna have high notes, we're gonna have low notes, we're gonna have mid-range notes. We're gonna have twists and turns going on. This is a really awesome opportunity. We are working on a large pondless waterfall. It's gonna be 40 feet in length, but we're gonna have a divide going on where we're gonna have about 20 feet on each side. So it's gonna end up being like a 60-foot stream overall. We're gonna make it really interactive. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be putting in a 9.5 long by 8.5 wide basin that's gonna hold 22 large aqua blocks, 2 pump housing units. We're gonna have 2 5,000 to 9,000 gallon. We're gonna be starting it up back by that tree area and really bringing those views down, twisting towards the house. But one of the things that we want to make sure we're doing is we're bringing you walking through this with some stepper stones. So we're going to have some bridges that cross over the waterfall. We're going to have some splits. We're going to have some twists and turns. And then we're going to have a real convergent point at the very bottom here where you're going to be able to rest and have water coming up over your shoulders if you're sitting down. You're not going to be standing. But if you were to sit down, it'd be cool to have water coming down over your shoulders. So that first waterfall is going to be like that into a little bit of a pooling area. And then it's going to disappear into gravel. So we have 2 truckloads of rock coming for sure. We have a tool trailer, we have a dumping trailer, 3 different trucks, and we're just adding to the fleet every year and trying to make it a little bit more streamlined and smooth. So the name for us is we've never sacrificed our quality as a team. The most important project we can work on is the one we start right now and the one we're working on right now. And from there, it's about creating a piece of artwork. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna create a sweet pondless waterfall that's gonna just be all about bringing people out into this backyard, interacting with the backyard. Eventually there might be a gazebo up there, so we're gonna have a gazebo for people to walk to. And it's just gonna be a really cool thing. It's gonna be awesome. Thanks for joining. Hey, what's up everyone? We are in the middle of day 2 here on our project number 13, this awesome custom pondless waterfall. I'm really liking it. It's coming together in a great way. The guys got the basin in yesterday, got it in a real good spot for us. We've got tons of gravel staged, ready to go in our buckets. So as we start placing our big boulders here, making our waterfall happen, we're going to be able to start filling in quickly with our gravel. These have been sitting in the pile since about April, and I've been looking at them, wanting to use them. So really excited that we have an opportunity to start building with them right now. With that being said, we're going to start building. So the main thing we want on this is a cool pooling area, a waterfall that can kind of fall over your shoulders, and we want to make sure we have a really impressive drop. Not only that, we have extra liner on the sides of the basin. The guys did a great job of placing that liner, putting it right where we want it. Basin is in a really good spot with our aqua blocks so that we can really carve into this and make it more inviting so it's not just a square. And we really want people to come in and go into that little pooling area, have the waterfall falling on their shoulders. So the two splits are going to come together over here. And then that's going to be this huge waterfall coming down into the basin. And then it'll be a rapid section that's a pooling section that overfills and comes down in. It's looking just fabulous. Thank you. Happy Monday for us. I hope you are enjoying the episode so far. We are still working on logistics here. We're about ready to start working on our overlap where we're going to bring the two pumps together for that really cool final waterfall. So we'll show you a little bit about overlapping and how to make sure that you're separating the water evenly. So I'm really excited. This is going to be beautiful. We get to cut an island through the yard with waterfalls going on both sides. It's looking really cool, but it is a very big project. We are finding that with the run we have, it takes about 7 boulders an hour for us to run that machine to the front yard and back to get some of these bigger, impactful boulders. But it is going to be so worth it in the long run because this is a huge project, and those big boulders are really lending themselves to making this feel more like it belongs, more that it's appropriate for the space. So we love using big boulders, but we also love using things that are to scale to your project. Those character boulders are what your eye are going to travel across over time. The waterfall is going to twist around those character boulders, and we're going to really have some fun with that whole overall look. So that's what we're doing right now. We're making this feel like it was always here. There's plenty of dirt work to do. There's plenty of boulder work to do. And then the devil's in the details. We got a lot of that ahead of us too. So this is part 1. Thanks for joining us. We're going to keep on rolling on work. Aiden is our medic. He is working on fixing our MT85. And man, he's been working on it over the weekend and has a good solid plan of attack. Hopefully before long, he'll get to do the accomplished stance that Justin likes to do, victory stance. And we will be rolling out on the MT85, grabbing things from the front yard, grabbing boulders and all that. All right, time to get to work. Check this out. Yeah. I love it. All right, so I'm down here at Rock Hard Landscape Supply in Farmington, Minnesota, and we get a chance to pick from our awesome pile of artisan blend stuff. A lot of guys don't like building boulder walls with that stuff because of the jaggedness to it. Maybe it's a little harder to stack. We love this pile. There's already some things sticking out to me on the pile. I know Dan has put some aside. We've still got that awesome rental machine, so we're going to use some bigger stuff still, and then we're going to kind of tone it back down to our scale of boulders, so what our machine's going to handle. What's really cool about what we get to do, though, is we get to plan ahead. So when you hire us, we luckily have good vision on how this is hopefully going to turn out. I hope you're starting to see that as a pattern when we're trying to show you that water features are fun on our channel. But what we're really hoping to show off with this is just what's possible for your yard as well. So we want you to be able to feel confident that when you choose us to do a water feature for you, we're picking boulders on a certain size. So if we want us to bring in bigger boulders and we bring in a rental like we are on this project, we love doing that, but we got to plan ahead. So we pick some boulders that machine is really able to handle, maybe a little tippy on some of them, which was perfect, what we kind of wanted to be right at the safe zone of operating. That's why they get a little tippy. You can't really put the blade down while you're driving across the driveway. So, but we plan for all that. We know what we're up to. I already see some boulders we got to pick from and play with. The name of the game on this delivery is to really go back to our scaling. So Only going to get a few of the bigger boulders, maybe 5, and then we're going to scale back to what our machinery can handle, and that's part of that vision. We have vision on how this is going to look for you when it's completed, when we get started. The main thing with rentals is you just keep communicating with everybody about what's going on the project, where you're at with them, so the rental company knows what you're doing, how long you might need that machine, and a lot of them are going to be happy to work with you. So that's what I'm excited about. We're picking out boulders today. I'm Nick the Pond King. This is Pond King Water Gardens, living works of art, 1 yard at a time. Theme of the channel is that water features are fun everywhere. This time, it's right here in Lake Elmo, Minnesota. All right, thanks for joining us. Keep watching. It's going to be a fun day. What an awesome day. These guys are just on fire, working really well as a team, doing great rock work, thinking ahead and making things look beautiful. I am really in love with the way this is turning out. This is a huge pondless waterfall, and because of that, there's a lot of back and forth with the liner, thinking processes, going through things on how to make it work. And then, of course, we are also in demand for consultations and designs, which we're very grateful for, but that makes it so sometimes I can't be here all the time, and the guys are just moving really in a great way forward with some really good stuff while I'm not able to be here. So really excited by that. This is looking fantastic. Every time I step back and look at it, I'm just getting really more and more excited and impressed. Today we worked on the left side of the stream, so as we're doing our overlapping, creating an island, we've got 2 different sets of liners. We've got one that's going for our left side of the stream and one that's going for our right side of the stream. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be kind of mixing that up a little bit. So we're going to have a stepping stone bridge that brings you across the water onto an island. That'll be a soil island where we'll plant it with a lot of plants, and we'll be able to get some cool stuff happening on that island. And then right where Evan is right now, we'll be crossing over another stone bridge. So you're kind of going to walk through this cool angle as you make your way up to a possible gazebo in the future. And then we've got some really cool planted play areas. So once you're sitting down by the fire over here, we've got a couple of cool arm tables for you. And then you'll be looking up at the waterfall. You'll be listening to a rich sound of water. Right where the excavator is now is going to be about where our main waterfall starts. Tomorrow, we'll walk through some more tomorrow, but man, it is looking beautiful. Thank you. All right, good morning, everyone. We are in the middle of our day already. It's about 10:30 in the morning. So yeah, today's day 6. We are working on our stream, making sure that we're coming together. All right, so we're coming together. We've got some really cool rock work going, getting our twists and turns happening with our waterfall and our stream. But I really wanted this waterfall to be like a rather large waterfall. So right now we're kind of calculating how to make this as tall as we can, but yet keeping in mind that we're gonna have to do our overlap here. So we either have to have this be a pretty tall waterfall and have another little 6-inch to 1-foot waterfall here coming onto that platform, or we make this our spot where this will be kind of what we're doing for our split. So the waterfall will split where it's going to be a staircase waterfall on this side and a big drop on this side. So we're going to kind of mix up the waterfalls a little bit and get some cool things happening. This is a 40-foot pondless waterfall. With the split, we call it a 60-foot waterfall. And that's how we're kind of calculating all the water that's going to be held in suspension. We're starting to hit the 40 mark right around here, so we can't really go too much further before we start using up too much water than what we can hold in the basin. I'm loving the way it's going though. We're getting some really cool rock work, some good shapes. The team is just on fire, doing some really good rock work themselves and making sure they're paying attention to quality. All right, well, it has been a really good day. We did some complicated things, have some really cool waterfalls, cool sets going on. This will be the end of part 2, but maybe in the morning we'll walk through a couple of things that can still be on this. But So now we'll talk about how we're setting the dirt afterwards. So when you come back for the next part 2, we'll talk to you about how we kind of set the dirt to make sure that we can spread this water out evenly and making sure that we're doing our split in a really good way. And then we're going to be doing our diffusers, spillways, our last set of waterfalls, and kind of taking up the last part of this area. Got a good amount of liner to play with and a good amount of boulders still, so it's going to come together and it's going to look pretty rad. Really, really cool. So thank you. It's the end of day 6. We'll be back tomorrow. So awesome. All right, so we just wanted to give you an update on what it looks like after doing some handwork and getting it a little bit more tweaked in. We have this 3 inches below our waterfall rock over here, and that way we have it about 2 inches below on this one. This one's about an inch lower. And we're gonna just kind of do different gravel work to make sure we can even that out. And then the dirt itself is very close to being at the same spot. So that's kind of the name of the game, to split those pumps evenly. Really pay attention to what you're doing with your dirt work, and then you'll be able to do some fine tweaking with it as you come closer with gravel and working with the foam and things like that. But this is a really nice platform for us to work with. We're gonna have a waterfall more or less where Aiden's at. We're gonna start our frame rock. One of them's gonna be on Aiden's backside. Yep, and then we'll have another one over here. And we're gonna have the water kind of come through an area, and then we're gonna do some splitting over these, and I kind of have an idea in my mind how I want that to work. All right, well, that's gonna do it for the end of the day. It was a good day, man. The guys got a lot done. Things are going in a great way. We're gonna start working on our frame rocks for our main waterfall, where we're bringing both pumps together out of this corner. They're gonna waterfall. Action is gonna happen in here, and then they're gonna divide and head on each side of this island. After that, we'll be doing our cleanup, getting it to a final. Well, there's a lot to do between now and running, but coming in with some gravel, and we got dirt being delivered on Monday morning. It's been a great day. It was Evan's last day today. It's a bummer. He's got ambitious goals for his life. That's always exciting, and we're glad that we had him for this summer. He did a really good job paying attention to detail, and then also caring about what he did up until the time he had to leave as well. So we wish Evan the bright future that we think he has, and excited to see that he goes on to hopefully hit his goals. And then hopefully he'll come back and help us build some ponds on his off time. You want to come and say some things to the camera, and we'll put you on the spot here.
I'm Officer Evan from Prior Lake. Going back to school on Monday, so it's my last day. Had a good time this summer. I learned a lot. There's a good group of guys to work with. And I'll be back next summer, hopefully, if I don't have anything going on, but I'm planning on being here.
Cool.
What?
I hope he comes back.
It's on tape. He's planning on coming back. We got it on camera.